Hey everyone, this is Alex Kemnitzer's presentation using Penpalschools.com in a ninth grade AP Human Geography class. So this distance learning project connected my ninth grade AP Human Geography students to other students of a similar age from other parts of the world using Penpalschools.com. They collaborated and communicated with each other and other students on a project about immigration. This project was successful because it complemented my course content regarding the topic of immigration. This was a topic that we studied earlier in the year, and this was a great opportunity for review as we get closer to the AP exam. It also fulfilled the distance learning and virtual environments requirement perfectly. That's exactly what penpalschools.com is. It's a virtual environment for students from around the world to basically communicate and collaborate on projects with one another. This is the introductory video that I showed in the last time I tried to make this screencast, and I went over 10 minutes. So I'm not going to do that, but it's in my presentation if anybody wants to watch it. I really like that they prioritize student safety. The students can register very easily. They require very little, basically no information. They don't even need to give an email address. They don't even need to give a name. Basically, they make up a username, they make up a password, and they're good to go. You can easily invite parents to join and monitor and basically participate with what they're doing on penpalschools.com. There is a invitation generator that is personalized so they can follow their particular child, and it might be cool to hand that out open house or parent-teacher night. So here's the home page. Basically, teachers click teacher, students click student. This is kind of interesting and neat reminder of how relevant this topic of virtual learning, distance learning and virtual environments is. Penn Pal Schools is offering free access to this program during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, if anybody's going to be closed for a duration, this might be something you could encourage your students or set up for your students. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the website just so I can show you what it looks like, and it is a little bit easier for me to show you. I have all these screenshots in my presentation, but this will be a little bit better. So you can just see there are so many topics to choose from. You've got science, math, you've got plenty of literature, you've got technology. Basically every topic, every subject area, there are relevant topics to. So pretty much every teacher could use this if they wanted to. You got geometry, you got something on multiplication, division around here somewhere. Foreign language, clearly you're going to be speaking to students from the regions of the world where you're learning the language. So that's actually a great opportunity. So the way this works with the free version is you can earn additional classrooms. They start you with 2 free classrooms, but you can earn additional classrooms by referring colleagues. And if they register and sign up, then you get another classroom. I put all of my students into one classroom, and I chose the immigration topic. And basically it was super easy to get them into it. You just give them this code right here. I just posted it on Google Classroom along with the link, and they were able to join very easily. So once you get in and you get started, this project has 3 different Learn with Pen Pals topics. Let me go back here for a second. They can choose what they want to do for their project. So most of my students chose the share a story about immigration. They interviewed a family member and they created a project doing that. Few people did this: general presentation, educate your community. I know of one kid that did the Immigration Hall of Fame, and nobody wanted to do the immigration policy. So once you go inside these, there are different tasks that you have. So there's a reading task. It's essentially a reading and writing task. So you have a reading and you respond to this question. And the reading is somewhat lengthy, depending upon the reading level that you choose. So this is the intermediate level. And what's actually kind of cool is not only does the reading level change, but also this question will change as well. So a little bit more of a sophisticated reading. And most of these assignments, they have a video that goes along with it. And down at the bottom, they have bonus resources. And these are actually, I found these to be really helpful. And I will use, maybe if I'm not even using this particular assignment next year, those videos, these YouTube videos are great resources. So that was actually kind of cool too. The next thing that I want to show you is the gradebook for student work. So you've got all your students here. These are all my kids here. I'm going to go to Ann Jolie here. So Ann Jolie responded to this question, and she has set her reading level to the advanced, and she responded right here. Now what's really cool is this person right here, Usmain D, is from Mali, and he just responded to her yesterday. So I've got a conversation going on between my student here in Baldwin, New York, with this student here in West Africa. And this is how we grade. So you can choose any criteria that you want. Just hit this gear here, and then you can basically select the things that you want to use as your criteria. Angelina's doing a great job, so I gave her 5s across the board. Some polite feedback. Great job, Ann Jolie. Someone from Mali responded to you yesterday. So hopefully she'll go and check that out. And that is how we can keep track of her grade and her work. Okay. So I'm going to minimize this, go back to my slides here. Okay, so we just saw all of this on the actual website. And I wanted to point out another cool international connection that was made. This was one of my students. They're further down the thread, but they're involved in this conversation with Muhammad M, who lives in Sweden. But based on his response, I get the sense that he comes from a Middle Eastern country as a refugee. And we recently learned about the refugee crisis that Europe has been experiencing due to the civil wars that have been taking place in Iraq and Syria. And here's a real life, person with that lived experience communicating with my student. Here are some of my students in one of my classes. They're working on their projects using Chromebooks that the school has and their personal devices. They found it easier to use their phones, which, is just based on their familiarity. Pros and cons. Pros, it was free. The limited use version was perfect for my needs. I was able to put all of my students into one class, no problem. I love that it emphasizes reading and writing. I feel like that gets lost sometimes in some of these technology tools that we use, but this is all about reading and writing, and I love that about it. It was easy for me to use, and it was also pretty easy for them. After about 5 minutes on the program, they had the hang of it, and it was no problem. It required very little extra work from me. So if it's something that you want to do, it's something very easy to implement. It's all pretty much made for you. You just got to assign it, give them the code, and let them go. The opportunity for authentic connections is there, as you saw with that student from Mali and from Sweden. The paid version is actually very expensive. If you wanted unlimited use for multiple teachers and you wanted to have multiple classes, it costs anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000 for a school, depending upon how large it is. The projects are time consuming. Most things that are worthwhile are. And so it will require students to dedicate time. And I didn't really consider that, and I had to extend my deadlines. They have till the end of the marking period to finish their project because we have so many other things going on in class at the same time. The other problem or drawback is that sometimes students didn't actively seek out international or students from other parts of the country. They pretty much just stuck to talking to one another. So, they're going back and forth with the person that's actually sitting directly next to them, or maybe in a different class period. And that's cool, that's fine. But it's really cool when they take advantage of the international aspect of it. So after trying Penpalschools, I would definitely try this again. I think that the free version met my needs perfectly. I would like to try a different topic next time. Maybe try one of the culture topics or something else. Immigration was great, but maybe try something else next time. The students found it pretty easy to use. Some complained about it taking a lot of time to complete their assignments. And, with all the other things that are going on in class, I told you that I adjusted the timeline. But I really love that they were able to correspond with students from around the world, other parts of the country, and even other classes. When my 5th period is communicating with my 8th period and my 3rd period, I think that's cool too. So overall, it was a very positive experience, and I look forward to using it again in the future. And I encourage you guys to check it out, try it, and see if you like it.